Hi guys, this is a quick video to review what we already saw in class. So we will talk about adjectives. I'm in your viewpoint book from Les Éditions CEC. You guys are on page 198. You can see it there at the bottom. We already did all this in class, so you can use this to basically review, or you can use it to review if you did not understand or you were absent. So on page 198, it starts by explaining the common types of adjectives. Now, adjectives in English and in French are exactly the same thing. They are words that add color, impact, and emphasis to a sentence. So they make your sentence more interesting. They give an example here that an adjective to a sentence is like putting chocolate in a glass of milk. It makes it taste a little bit better. The function, and that's an important part that you should know, it's identical in English and in French. The function is to describe and give more information about a noun or a pronoun. This is important because we're also going to talk about adverbs. And adverbs give information about different parts of speech. If you remember our parts of speech, we have nouns here, and I have pronouns, and there are different ones like verbs and adverbs and adjectives. So the function of an adjective is to give information about a pronoun or a noun. Adjectives, and this is another important one, adjectives are usually placed before the noun or pronoun that they describe. This is a little bit different from French, because in French it is okay to say, for example, le chat noir. And noir is my adjective that describes a noun. My noun is le chat, so it comes after. In English, it's usually placed before. So we have two examples here. We'll take one of them. We drove on the bumpy road all the way home. My adjectives is bumpy. Now, my noun is road. Bumpy comes before my noun. So it is the same way. There is one exception, and you should memorize these verbs. The exception is this one. Adjectives can also be placed after some verbs, but only some of the verbs. And then you have a list of verbs right here for you to memorize. With these verbs, we can place an adjective after. You already know this and you're already used to this because of the verb to be. For example, if you say, I am intelligent, intelligent is an adjective and it comes after the verb to be. We have an example here as well. This sweater feels soft. Soft is the adjective. It's placed after because it's after the verb to feel. But it describes what? It describes sweater, and sweater is a noun. It's also possible to use two or more adjectives before a noun. And there's a special order if you do that, and that order is on page 201. Another important part for you to study is the part at the bottom to understand the function of the different adjectives. And that's why in class I told you it would be a good idea to study this part here, the types of adjectives. You have examples here, but if you want to practice a little bit more, what you could do is go into Google and type types of adjectives exercises and do a couple of exercises. That's a good way to practice. The last category at the bottom is called participial adjectives. Those are adjectives that actually look like verbs because they end with ed or they end with ing. But because there's no other verb with them, it's an adjective. So you have at the bottom of page 198 the explanation of what a participial adjective is. It's usually an ed. It usually describes someone's feelings or reactions or the state of a person or object. I was shocked. Shocked is not the verb. It's a description of how I was feeling and ends with ed. If you go to the other page, you have an explanation. So I'm on page 199. have an explanation of participial adjectives ending in ing. So it describes someone or something that causes, and that's the important word, a feeling or a reaction. Let me highlight it for you. Causes a feeling. That's the difference between the two. So here we have, my teacher is always so encouraging. So it's this person who is causing a feeling in me. The other one, it was a description of a feeling that I have. Here you have an important note that you can read. Be careful not to mix up the two. Sometimes an ing or an ed is a verb. So if we take the first one, I was confused. It's the state, the description of my feeling. It's not a verb, it's an adjective. The teacher confused the students, which I hope I did not do. Confuse the student, it's an actual action. It's the teacher who is doing the action of confusing. And you have another example with the same thing. A good idea is to check those exercises that we did in class if you did not understand. You have exercises on page 199 and page 200. So basically, if you had any problems with those exercises, what do? Come to Recoup. If not, if you want just the review, I suggest you take the sections that you want, type into Google, type of adjectives or participial adjective, and add the word exercises, and you'll find lots of exercises. That's it for this part.